Beyond the Gates spoilers. Welcome back to our channel. It is a fantastic Tuesday, and we are diving headfirst into the absolute madness that is going down in Fairmont Crest this week. Grab a coffee or whatever you need because we have a lot of ground to cover and it is getting incredibly intense. So let us just get right into it because my head is absolutely spinning from these latest Beyond the Gates spoilers, and I honestly do not even know where to begin. But I guess we have to start with the biggest, most chaotic storyline happening right now, which is Heather Armstrong just completely infiltrating the lives of everyone in town. And honestly, you guys, what on earth is going on with Smitty? Like, seriously. Bradley Smitty Smith is supposed to be this sharp, investigative journalist, right? He's writing these deep dive articles about the Impaler, the literal serial killer known as the Skewer or the Impaler who has been terrorizing people. And yet, he is sitting right there, having a casual little chat with Heather, completely oblivious to the fact that he is talking to the exact person he is trying to take down. I mean, let us be real for a second. How does this even happen? You would think a guy who spends his days digging into cold cases and serial killers would have some sort of radar for absolute psychopaths, but no, Heather is just playing him like a fiddle. She is doing this whole sweet and innocent routine, batting her eyelashes, acting like she is just this harmless blonde woman who is new in town or just visiting her brother Joey, and Smitty is just eating it up. It is so frustrating to watch because you just want to scream at the screen. Like, dude, she is the Impaler. She is the one you are writing about. And the worst part is that Martin Richardson is right there with him. Martin is already dealing with so much right now. He is trying to help Tyrell get over that devastating breakup with Jessica Harris and dealing with Samantha going completely nuclear on Jessica to protect her brother. Martin is exhausted. He is a supportive father figure and partner, but he is stretched so thin. And now he is sitting there, probably sipping a latte, while his husband inadvertently spills all of his investigative secrets to a literal murderer. What kind of information are Smitty and Martin going to pass along to her? That is the million-dollar question right now. Because if Smitty tells Heather what he knows, or who his sources are, or what his next podcast episode is going to be about, he is basically handing her a roadmap to cover her tracks. Or worse, he is putting a massive target on his own back. Joey already thinks Heather is in town to eliminate Smitty. And maybe Joey is right, or maybe Joey is wrong and Heather is just using Smitty as a pawn. But either way, Smitty is in so much danger, and he has absolutely no clue. I just cannot handle the anxiety of watching them interact. It is like watching a horror movie where the characters go into the dark basement without a flashlight. But okay, maybe I am being too harsh on Smitty. I mean, Heather is a master manipulator. She has been doing this for a long time. She knows exactly how to disarm people. She knows how to look harmless. And Smitty is probably just excited that someone is showing interest in his work. He's been prioritizing this new podcast and his career opportunities over his family lately, which has already been causing tension with Martin. Remember he missed that charity basketball game? So maybe Smitty is just desperate for validation and Heather is giving it to him. But still, it is just so hard to watch. And then we have to talk about Andre Richardson. Poor Andre. His life is just a complete and utter disaster right now, and I honestly feel so bad for him. First of all, his wife Dani is out here making massive Freudian slips in front of her entire family, calling Bill Hamilton her husband, like, in the present tense, in front of Anita, Vernon, and Nicole. Just a complete public humiliation for Andre. And Dani is off fighting with Haley in Bill's hospital room, pushing Bill's blood pressure to the absolute limit. Dani is just trauma bonded to Bill and recklessly destroying her marriage to Andre. But as if that wasn't enough, Andre is now being forced to face his own dark past. Because Heather is back. And we all know Andre and Heather have history. But the spoilers for Tuesday are teasing something so specific and so wild that the fans on social media are absolutely losing their minds. All signs are pointing to Andre finally breaking down and confiding in his uncle Ted Richardson about his connection to Heather. And not just his connection to Heather, but his connection to the Impaler plasma ring. Wait, hold up. The Impaler plasma ring? What in the world is that? When I first read that spoiler, I literally had to read it 3 times because I was so confused. A plasma ring? Is it a weapon? Is it a piece of jewelry that the killer leaves behind? Is it some sort of cult symbol? I have so many questions and my brain is just going a million miles an hour trying to figure it out. Let's think about this. If Heather is the Impaler, and Andre is connected to this plasma ring, does that mean Andre was involved in her crimes? Was he an accomplice? Or was he a victim who somehow got away with a piece of evidence? We know Andre has a dark past. We know he has been getting these cryptic stalker texts lately that have been making him super paranoid. He has been so secretive and stoic, but you can tell he is just crumbling inside. And now he is going to Ted. Ted is like the ultimate voice of reason in the Richardson family. He is always calm, always supportive. Even though Ted has his own weird drama going on right now with Eva brutally calling out her mother Leslie for being secretly in love with Ted, which is just hilarious and awkward, but Ted doesn't even know about that yet. Ted is just trying to be a good uncle. So Andre goes to Ted, and he is going to spill the beans about this plasma ring. Will we finally get the whole story? Honestly, knowing the writers of this show, probably not. They love to drag these mysteries out for months. They will probably give us a tiny flashback of Andre and Heather from years ago, maybe holding this glowing plasma ring, and then someone will interrupt them before Andre can explain what it actually does. But you guys, I am so invested in this. If Andre is somehow tied to the Impaler murders, that changes everything. That means he is not just the sad, betrayed husband of Danny Dupree. He is a guy with a deeply dangerous secret who might be the actual target of a serial killer. Because remember, Randy Parker has been tracking Heather. And Randy is starting to realize that Heather might not be here for Smitty at all. She might be here to win back her ex, Andre, which is just a terrifying thought. Imagine a serial killer deciding that she wants you back, and she is willing to manipulate your wife's family, your uncle, and your local investigative journalist just to get close to you. Andre is in so much trouble. So that brings us to Joey Armstrong and Randy Parker. Joey is just a ball of stress right now. He is this tough casino boss. He has a tight grip on his business, but his sister is completely out of his control. Joey knows Heather is bad news. He knows there is something sinister going on. He even warned Bill Hamilton about his own health, which shows Joey actually has some sort of moral compass, or at least he wants to keep the town from completely falling apart. But Joey is about to get a major report from Randy. Randy has been tailing Heather all over the DMV area. He has been hiding in the shadows, watching her every move. And it is so dangerous. If Heather catches Randy, he is a dead man. She is the skewer. She does not play around. So what is Randy going to tell Joey? Is Randy going to tell Joey that he saw Heather playing sweet and innocent with Smitty and Martin? If he does, Joey is going to absolutely lose his mind. He is going to think his sister is about to murder the town's local podcaster right in broad daylight. But what if Randy saw something else? What if Randy saw Heather looking at old photos of Andre? What if Randy uncovered the truth about her real motive? If Joey finds out that Heather is actually obsessed with Andre, how is he going to react? Is he going to warn Andre? Joey and Vernon Dupree already had a massive confrontation where Vernon demanded answers from the casino boss. The whole town is just a powder keg waiting to explode, and Randy holds the match right now. Whatever information he gives Joey is going to dictate the next major conflict. And I am just sitting here biting my nails hoping Randy doesn't get himself killed in the process. Because let's be real, Randy is a great tracker, but he is dealing with a literal monster. And amidst all of this absolute life and death chaos, we have Vanessa McBride. The spoilers say Vanessa believes it is time for a major change. And I am just like, Vanessa, girl, what are you talking about? A major change? What does that even mean in the context of everything else going on? Is this about her business? Is she going to rebrand? Or is this about her personal life and romance? Let's look at what Vanessa has been up to lately. She has been getting all caught up in the Armstrong sibling crossfire because Heather has been trying to bond with her. Heather is trying to get close to Vanessa to further her own hidden agenda. And Vanessa, who is normally so highly judgmental and perceptive, might actually be falling for it. Plus, Vanessa just had to evaluate Noah Rollins, Deanna McBride's new boyfriend. Noah and Deanna had this cute little fateful meeting at Orphe Jean's, and their romance blossomed at Anita's gala in Uptown. And now Noah has to face the wrath of Vanessa's scrutiny. Noah is Dr. Keel Rollins' son, and he is probably super nervous. And Vanessa is just sitting there judging his every move. On top of that, Vanessa has been getting all the exclusive tea from Nicole Dupree. Nicole just gave Vanessa the update that she is exclusively dating Dr. Kyle Rollins now, moving on from Carlton Fitzgerald. So Vanessa is surrounded by all these people finding love, making connections, moving forward. And maybe Vanessa's looking at her own life and thinking, you know what? I need a change. I need something different. Maybe she is tired of just being the protective relative who judges everyone else's choices. Maybe she wants to take a huge risk. Or maybe, and this is just a wild theory I have been thinking about, maybe her major change has something to do with Heather? What if Vanessa decides to go into business with Heather? What if Heather manipulates Vanessa into some sort of partnership as a cover for her serial killer activities? That would be so devastating because Joey would absolutely flip out. Honestly, the pacing of this show right now is just relentless. We have Haley slowly poisoning Bill since last October, and now Bill is in the hospital having his blood pressure spiked by his current wife and his ex-wife screaming at each other. We have Chelsea Hamilton being haunted by the anniversary of her kidnapping by Allison Bailey, right as Chelsea Cat is about to launch. We have Naomi and Tomas fighting tooth and nail over Bill's law firm. And then we have this massive, sprawling Impaler storyline that is dragging in Smitty, Martin, Andre, Ted, Joey, Randy, and Heather. It is just so much. And I am tired, you guys. I am so tired, but I cannot look away. It is like a train wreck, but the train is made of pure drama, and I am completely strapped to the tracks. Let's go back to the Smitty and Heather thing for a second, because I just cannot let it go. Smitty is investigating the Impaler. He is doing a podcast. Do you know how much research goes into a true crime podcast? You have to look at crime scene photos, you have to interview witnesses, you have to study the psychology of the killer, and Heather is sitting across from him. Does she not have any tells? Does she not slip up and say something that only the killer would know? Actually, that is probably exactly what she is doing. She is probably feeding him tiny little breadcrumbs that seem like brilliant investigative leads, but are actually just her way of controlling the narrative. She is probably steering Smitty away from her actual trail and pointing him towards some innocent person. And Smitty, because he is so eager to get a scoop and prove himself, is just blindly following her lead. And Martin is just collateral damage in all of this. Martin is such a good guy. He is compassionate, he is worried about his kids, he is frustrated with Smitty's ambition, and now he is sitting in the crosshairs of a serial killer. If Heather decides that Martin is in the way, or if Martin starts to get suspicious of her, she will not hesitate to take him out. And that just breaks my heart because the Richardson-Smith family has been through enough with Tyrell's heartbreak. They do not need a murder in their living room. And then there is the whole Andre and Ted dynamic. I really hope the writers do this justice. Andre has been carrying this heavy burden for so long. He has been the stoic rock for Danny, even when Danny was sneaking off to hook up with Bill in an elevator during a tornado. Andre has put up with so much disrespect from Danny, and now he is dealing with his own trauma. When he talks to Ted about the plasma ring, I want to see real emotion. I want to see Andre break down. Because what is a plasma ring? Seriously? I am still stuck on that. Is it a ring that shoots plasma? Is it a piece of technology stolen from a lab? Is it a metaphorical ring? Like a ring of people involved in a cult? The word impaler makes it sound so medieval and brutal, but plasma makes it sound sci-fi. It is such a weird combination of words, and it just makes me so incredibly curious. Ted is going to have his mind blown. Ted thinks he is just going to give some standard uncle advice about dealing with a stalker ex-girlfriend. He probably thinks Heather is just some crazy chick who won't let go. He has no idea that he is about to step into a conversation about a serial killer and a plasma ring. Ted's reaction is going to be priceless. He is probably going to need a stiff drink after that conversation. And I wonder if Ted will tell anyone else. Will he tell Martin? Will he tell the police? Or will he try to handle it internally within the Richardson family? Because if they try to handle Heather on their own, they are going to fail. She is too smart and too dangerous. Look at what she is doing to Joey. Joey is her own brother, and he is terrified of her. Joey is a guy who runs a casino. He deals with shady people all the time, and yet his own sister gives him the creeps. That tells you everything you need to know about Heather. So when Randy reports back to Joey, it is going to be a massive turning point. Randy is this stealthy investigator, but he is playing with fire. I just have this sinking feeling that Randy is going to get caught. Like, he is going to be hiding behind a dumpster outside the casino, and Heather is just going to appear right behind him, and that will be the end of Randy Parker. But if he does manage to get the info to Joey, Joey's going to have to make a choice. Does he protect his sister, or does he protect the town? Does he go to Vernon Dupree and say, "Hey, my sister is a serial killer, and she is obsessed with your son-in-law, Andre"? Vernon would probably pull out a shotgun. Vernon is uncompromising and furious right now because of Danny's behavior. So if you add a serial killer to the mix, Vernon is going to go to war. It is all just so perfectly messy. Every single storyline is bleeding into the next. Danny's marital issues are bleeding into Bill's health crisis, which is bleeding into Haley's villain arc. Andre's marital issues are bleeding into his past trauma, which is bleeding into the Impaler storyline, which is bleeding into Smitty's podcast, which is bleeding into Martin's family stress. And somewhere in the middle of all this, Vanessa McBride is just standing there thinking, you know what, I think I want to change my hair. Or whatever her major change is going to be. It is just so funny to me how some characters are dealing with literal life and death, and others are just having a midlife crisis about their career. But that is soap operas for you. That is beyond the gates. I honestly cannot wait for next week. I need to know what the plasma ring is. I need to know if Smitty is going to wake up and smell the serial killer coffee. I need to know if Randy survives his stalking mission. And I need to know what Vanessa is going to do. So yeah, that is where we are at. It is a lot to process. I am going to need to reread these spoilers like 5 more times just to make sure I am not hallucinating the words plasma ring. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you as stressed out about Smitty as I am? Do you have any theories on what Andre's secret actually is? And what do you think Vanessa's big change is going to be? Drop your thoughts below and I will see you guys in the next update. Because honestly, this show is going to be the death of me, but I love every second of it. And just one last thought before I sign off, because my brain literally will not stop spinning. If Heather is manipulating Smitty, and Smitty is doing a podcast, what if Heather actually wants him to broadcast her crimes? What if she is one of those narcissistic killers who wants the fame and the glory, and she is using Smitty as her personal PR machine? That would be so twisted. She feeds him the exact details she wants the public to know. She creates this terrifying myth around the impaler, and Smitty is just the poor, naive microphone she is speaking into. If that is true, then Martin is in even more danger than I thought. Because if Martin tries to stop Smitty from doing the podcast, or if Martin tells Smitty he is spending too much time on this case and needs to focus on Tyrell, Heather might see Martin as an obstacle. And we all know what happens to obstacles in Heather's world. They get skewered. Okay, I really have to stop now before I give myself a panic attack over fictional characters. But seriously, this writing is just unhinged right now, and I am here for the ride. Stay safe out there, you guys, and keep watching the gates. Because whatever is beyond them right now is absolutely terrifying.